new bed for next year. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to grow here, but I think it will be radishes. Because, well, allow me to explain. I have shaved off until you reach the bedrock, and then I used the grass mounds as reinforcements along with a bit of turf basically the turf that was here has been used to ridge up, and then the grass mounds have been set there so that when they connect with each other they hopefully keep this mound together. I figured it was neatly located here between this tree and that tree over there for aesthetical reasons. But as for here, what I did was fill up where there was only bedrock with willows. I will later on when I have time. I don't really have more time to deal with this shit today, but essentially try to kind of get them kind of layered out. Not so it looks nice, but so I can get them flatter and as much down as possible. Then throw a thin layer of soil, which I have my soil production sites I can extract it from. Not necessarily compost, mind you, but though I might have actually some of that too. Well, point being is that a thin layer of soil is going to be layered upon it then, and then a thin layer of coal to protect that soil during the winter from compaction, maybe not, from the sun, from a lot of things which exposed soils tend to suffer from. What then happens at spring, when the next year come around, is that I will add another thin layer of soil above this, and then I'll throw the radishes, and then I have another thin layer of coal. I'm saying thin, we're talking about like this. So after a couple of the first round of soil, and then you have something like this with coal, give or take over here, right? And then you have another one, and all this shit keeps compacting a little bit and sinks in between the logs and so forth. So it will be fairly shallow, but I think it will do quite well for radishes. And because for every successive year I keep on working on, the soil will get thicker, and eventually bigger plants will be more suitable. I also would benefit from having the radishes, because there will be some radishes that will be set to seeds, like I have done earlier. And so that's why I want to use this mound here, which has a fair deal of nitrogen in it, where it will acquire more in the process to grow sunflower seeds. They should be shielded from wind and so forth around here, but still have the sun that comes from above. Most of the time, I mean, they grow tall, so it doesn't matter, and the radishes won't need much. Now, why do I not grow potatoes, for example? Well, because the decomposing wood, can cause quite a bit of a problem with that, and it's actually a lot of other problems. It's a little bit difficult to actually assess where you cannot use wood just plainly. Now, I'm sure there was also some here who would suggest that I convert this into a mushroom bed. But I, first of all, don't know enough about mushrooms, simply not interested enough in mushrooms to actually care. If I get a whole bunch of psilocybin out of this, then yeah, I'll definitely do this a whole lot more. You can bet your ass on that one. But as for growing cantaroules and other shrooms, they're so abundant everywhere that there are plenty of people in the local community that are so skilled in finding the right type, and I mean to an amount that they can actually sell them on the local stores. So yeah, I'll focus on some other stuff. I think for experimental reasons, and because I have an abundance of seeds, that's why radishes will be going here. Well, enough still filming on this one. There's a few more preparations being made for winter, and I'm just going to quickly brief over some of them while I'm still having your attention, I hope, because this is a log for myself. Pits from the turfs, we will see how that happens. It was dug up here and there to kind of hill up and hold back water and mass here, while allowing these funky plants to do their thing. Ooh. Fucking, yeah, this is the moose that had been tipping that over. recently passing by. It was very noticeable. I did a bunch of damage around there. Yeah, what happens with those turfs, we'll see. Those holes, I mean, it will be interesting just to observe the reaction. Coming up here, trying to make a place I could, you know, hopefully have a water pond that will hold the water due to the bedrock. And then I could make liquid manure, like green manure, by having it soaked in water, because having greens out in the open will tend to have the sun rays and microbes convert the nitrogen into nitrous oxides and just simply release it into the atmosphere, which is a waste. Worst case scenario, if I'm unable to kind of find a groove around here that is actually deep enough to hold water in that manner. Oh, you're fertilizing over there, are you? Then I can use this to at least char a whole bunch of wood. And I have plenty. And I need a big fire so I can take thick logs, because I don't care to be... or I actually don't have the time simply to be chopping and sawing and all that kind of stuff with whatever wood I have. So whatever wood I'm not going to be using, like those straight logs there, some of those over there, I might be using for creating beds. I might actually experiment with, when I think about it, those are partially decomposed. So I will make a... Whereas that was a Willow-hugel experiment, I'll use that to make a birch-hugel experiment. And then I have the rest of the rack over there where I used to store the willows, which I'm going to remove. I have a bunch of very fertile soil under there that I want access to, and there's some works that need to be done there. I also want to see if there is some material, though I doubt it, that can be used for some construction I am needing to do very soon. Yeah, that would then be, that's fir, you see there. So that will be the third hugel bed I'll make. And it would be a little bit interesting to see if it actually matters what type of wood, or if it's just simply throw some wood in the ground and there you got it. But this is, of course, earmarked for torching. And over in that hole, well, what do you know? My little beauty has found herself a water hole. If our ancestors weren't such voracious assholes, if I dug a big enough pond here, maybe my cat would be accompanied by a mammoth. And then this house will be accidentally tumbled over because, I don't know, it just happened to go by and tremble it to pieces. Autumn is beautiful, ain't it? I thought I had more to say. I don't really. I'm just filming, for no really good reason. There's no more log here for you, Mr. Hansen. It's all just scenery. Heja vännen!